So is Tesla stock ready to break out? At the end of the day, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but the daily chart looks pretty good. So as far as the technicals, it looks like there could be a big move to the upside. I'm going to break it down and show you what I'm thinking. And remember, everything I say, this is just a guess. It's an educated guess. It's using the information that I have at hand to try to figure out what could possibly happen based on being around the market for years. So as far as the daily chart, this is one of the main things that I like. Tesla is starting to consolidate and it's getting very tight. And that's what I like. I'm a fan of moves in one direction and then obviously a period of consolidation, because a lot of times in consolidation, there's some frustration on both sides. You get some longs thinking that it's ready to go, then it pulls back. You get some shorts kind of baited in, and then it goes back and forth, and eventually it chooses a direction. And when it does, those moves can be pretty big. And if we take a step back a little bit, look where Tesla came from. Had a bottom right around 101, big move higher, pulled back, got below the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA, stopped right at the 50 SMA on the daily, and since been trending higher. So from 100, it has been in an uptrend. Even though it pulled back a little bit, it's still been holding some major levels, and now it's back above the 9 EMA, the 20 SMA, and the 50 SMA, and it's consolidating sideways on the daily, which I think looks pretty good. So now let's break it down a little further. So had a nice 2-day move, pulled back, and the reason why I think this looks very interesting is because if you look at these two candles, this one right here and this one right here, they made attempts to go lower. They even got below this really big green candle, where I would think a lot of buyers are involved, and it did not break down. So it failed to break down. So just from a shorter term perspective, I would think that if for some reason this broke support and there were some shorts thinking that maybe there's a reversal, this was a fake move higher, they're hopping in short, and it is failing to break down, it could catch some people off sides. And a lot of times in order for a big move to happen, you need to catch the other side off guard. So if there's some shorts that are in these areas expecting or were expecting Tesla to roll over and it does not, and then it starts to move higher, I would think it would squeeze them out of their positions. So you had a couple failed breakdowns and it's now consolidating above the 9 EMA after a period of time of going sideways. And then check out this technical pattern. Everybody knows what this is. This is a bull flag. So you have the failed breakdown, the recent move off the 50 SMA, consolidating above the 9 EMA, above the 20 SMA, forming the bull flag, nice tight sideways consolidation. If it breaks out of this bull flag, it looks like it has some room to the upside. Now, obviously, nobody knows what a stock is going to do, but just based on my experience with technicals, this is where I could see this maybe going. If we do break out of this flag pattern and we hold above it, so kind of this line right here, call it this 195 area, get above it, hold above it, I would think the first area of resistance would be the big psychological level 200. And then if we get above 200, which is this prior candle high and this prior candle high, so a major area of resistance, if we can break through resistance, then resistance would then become support. And then I would think it's basically every $5 up. It looks like it has some room up to 205. There's some resistance to the left. Then 210, that kind of seems like the last line in the sand. And then if it gets above 210, it looks like it has room up to the 200 SMA, which can be a big area of resistance if a stock is trading below it. And right now it's trading at 215.99. So if Tesla can break out of this flag, get above the major psychological level 200, and then the overall market stays strong and it continues to trend, maybe this could get to that 216, which would be a big area of resistance. If for some reason this really has a lot of legs behind it, it gets above that 216, what would be a major area of resistance would then become support. And then now zooming out a little bit. So looking at the yearly chart, if Tesla really gets going, because sometimes that's the personality of it, whether it be to the downside or to the upside, when it has that move in one direction, it can go a little further than a lot of people anticipate. So if it gets above that 200 SMA and then gets above this prior area of resistance, 217, I would think this has 220 written all over it. And then if we continue to keep going, this prior area of resistance right around 235. And then if for some reason it is that strong and it gets to 235, I would think a psychological level could be 250. And then if Tesla has a crazy move like that and it gets to 250, just looking to the left, look at this little open gap. The low of this candle is 262.47, so there's a possibility of an upside gap fill around that 263 area. Now, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. For all I know, Tesla could end up failing to break out of this bull flag, breaks the low of the bull flag right around this 185, and then it rolls back over. But if we hold up, these are just some of the technicals that I'm going to be looking at to the upside. This is all just my opinion and an educated guess, but it's going to be cool to go back to this video and see what happens. Appreciate you watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.